Stone, thank you for subscribing! I was just about to change that, how big that is on the screen, because, yeah. I had to migrate everything the other day because Streamlabs updated and broke everything, and then apparently it just fixed it, but all of the things I had fixed are now broke again. So there's gigantic emojis right now. But thank you so much. Sorry if I sound a little congested. I have, like, sinus headaches. Sinus. Everything. Everything sinus. We keep going from very warm to very cold, and my head does not like it. Hello, White Knight. Okay, so I do have the werewolf. That is on the docket. But I want to... I am trying to finish up a few more horses, because I did not get time to work on them as much as I would have liked. I kind of lost a lot of my weekend to other plans. There are you. You're very cute. And then, yeah, I was up until like 5 a.m. getting Kickstarter orders packaged. But yes, this is one of the ones I was working on. I think she's largely done. I might polish it up a little bit. I'm probably gonna veto putting the blue one, not this one, this one. Hype train. Oh. I don't know what a hype train is, to be honest. What is a hype train? Thank you for subscribing! Sorry, this is like... this is very... I very much appreciate it. I'm also like, what is happening? It's a little bit like... I went and hung out at my... Went for like a board game night with some friends who have young kids that I am essentially aunt for, and as soon as I showed up, the two kids just would not stop trying to get my attention. And they like put a bunch of like birthday presents in my hands and then demanded I play Pokemon and draw them a hedgehog and play Hot Potato all at the same time. And it was just kind of chaos. It was This is... I'm not saying this is near that level at all, but I'm like, this is... As soon as there's so much audio-visual stuff, I'm like... My brain just kind of panics. But how was everybody's weekend? I think Hype Train's just like multiple people following you at the same, or subscribing at the same time? I have no idea. I'm not entirely sure what this horse is, by the way. And do let me know if you hear there's like construction happening on a house behind us. So let me know if you hear that. They're also one of the reasons I have a headache, because they're putting shingles on, so it just smells like hot tar. Dragon Day. Oh, they asked me to go to that, or to table there. I was thinking about it, but I needed insurance, which I don't actually have event insurance. How was it? Small but fun? Oh, okay, that's good. I know there was that. I had 2 people contact me about doing their show. One was that one. The other one's an online one. Boom Rattle Boom Con. That's weird. It seemed like they were trying to get vendor, because they came around in Emerald City and were like hitting up a bunch of people. Did they ask for, because they were like, you have to have insurance and you have to have a UBI. And they're like, and of course you have that for being here. But insurance is actually something that can be covered by the event too. So yeah, I'm surprised. Oh, really? I wonder if they were a little too picky. Yeah, if it's a small... It's like... I've done little shows before and they can be good, but sometimes when you just... Like, when you factor in the amount of time it takes you to get there, pack everything, prep for it, it's like if you're only making, a couple $100, it's just not worth it. I'll probably try for the Boom Rattle Boom Con though, because that's online and it's specifically no AI and only licensed fan art. So it's like the kind of show I would like to see succeed. At least the weather was nice for that show last weekend, though. Oh yeah, no, they should have responded. The fact that you even did a follow-up and they didn't respond is BS. That means somebody's not organizing it terribly well. Which, you know, doesn't bode well for the event's longevity overall. This thing has some funky anatomy, but I'm fine with that because it's obviously not normal. Thus the effed up horses. I'm trying to get this, that little booklet is mostly put together. I just found out that I apparently hate drawing horses facing right. So yeah, I had some gaps to fill. Pull up my bar already. I think this is why I hate doing things facing right, because if I face left, then I can do what I usually do and put all the details on the left, and I can draw with my right hand and not smudge it all. But now I've got to do this. So it's not quite, I'm not quite Zoolander. I'm not that. There's a method for my inability. I do need to see. I'll check when the registration is for that Boom Rattle one, because I may have missed it, but if it's still open, I will send you it in Discord, so you can try for that one too. I'm going to keep the majority of the saturation around the face, so I think I'm largely going to leave this kind of amorphous blended out. Oh no, yeah, SuckerCon is... Though from what I've heard, it's been getting worse and worse every year, but they keep upping the prices quite a bit, so... It may have been a blessing in disguise. I'll see. My one friend that used to be her best show, and now she's like, I don't know if I want to even go back. I'll see how she does this year. Yeah, Crypticon. Crypticon, I'm like, damn, I want to get back into that one. That was a fun show, but yeah, it's like I missed 1 year re-registering and then I was off the list. Kind of the only reason that I'm doing Monsterpalooza this year is it's like, you can't not re-up or you just dead to the organizers. I'm deciding if I want to keep. I kind of want to keep the other little scribbly lines on here. Hi, Helene! I've been meaning to pester you if you want to do another dual stream this week. For a tiny moment, we had a hype train going. It was beautiful. I turned up the music a little bit just to see if I could drown out the sound of hammering and pneumatic nail guns. Mr. Popular, got stuff to do. I'm just kidding. It's a little funny. So Friday we were playing the Still Wakes the Deep. I've had a bunch of people ask me questions about that game since, so it's been one of the more popular videos. So like usually the gaming ones don't really perform all that well because that's not what I'm aiming to be. But I'm glad that one is like maybe more of the long format story mode horror games is where I'm at. God, sometimes hearing my echo throws off what I'm saying so much, and then I pronounce things weird. Right. I'm trying to find my dark blue, but I can't find it. I need to pop the butt out on my Shiba. Oh, I found another one of these when I was in Mexico City. I found a tiger. It's not the same brand, but I grabbed it because I love these things. Yeah, I don't know where the heck my dark blue is. I'm doing horses facing right now because as I was putting together the book, I realized I have a hell of a lot of horses facing left. No, it's just like, obviously, you know, you don't want to stagnate by just doing the same thing over and over again. And I have a reasoning for my drawing too many horses facing left, because it's mostly that I'm working on Yupo paper, and since I'm right-handed, it makes sense for me to draw them facing left because I usually put the most detail in the face, right? And since it smudges so easily, you know, I'm not worried about smudging the less detailed parts. But now I have to do this thing, so I don't do that. But it was, I'm very surprised that, like, they make all these type of wrist rests and stuff like that. A lot of people make their own, but I specifically had to get a clear one so I could see what the heck was underneath. Yeah, because I had to pick a finicky medium that loves to smudge. There are some lines I need to clean up, but I'm waiting till I get waiting till I get most of the face details done before I come in here with an eraser. Mostly I'm pulling in my light blue so I can deepen the saturation in these parts. But keeping it focused on the head, because like I said, I want to keep this kind of loose and amorphous back here. I will color these parts in a little bit, but I want it to look like it's fading out, kind of. Ooh, cobalt blue cross stitch. How expensive? Because I remember for a while, like, cobalt blue stuff was outrageously expensive. It's still, like, more expensive for that, even as, like, a thread color. Okay. I know when it comes to paint, that can definitely get more expensive. I think it depends on the brand. If it's like using actual cobalt, then it can get very pricey. Oh yeah, I imagine silk floss is not cheap. It's gotta be sturdier though, right? Like... Or am I just... I was like, how sturdy is silk itself versus... I know like spider silk is like the most tough fabric we could possibly make, but that's obviously not really commercially available. Doesn't tangle much. Oh. I'm learning things. Oh, there are spider farms already. There are people that are trying to essentially mass produce. That's a problem, is spider silk is ridiculously strong, but it's very hard to make. So they tried doing like spider farms, but what they are actually ending up doing is genetically splicing spider genes into goats. And so they get spider silk from milking goats. At least that's what I think. I have no idea where that currently stands right now, but I know that was in the process several years ago. It's like, what's that sheep horror movie? It's literally just called Black Sheep. That's how it begins. But it is kind of funny how they like have to do it, you know, gene splicing with goats, because human scientists have yet to be able to synthetically make spider silk. At least not, it's like maybe they have, but not in any kind of like financially reasonable amounts. Blend, blend, blend. Man, I miss reading about just like random cool science stuff like that. Now it's just what fresh hell is unleashed upon us today. Anybody that's on Blue Sky a lot, have you had a ton of followers in the last, like, 3 days, 4 days? Because I keep getting, like... I feel like the bots have figured out that everyone blocks people with huge following lists. So now I'm getting bots that are only following, like, 20 people? But they're only following the same, like, 20 people? I'm having to block a ton of people. Like, sorry if I block a real human being, but if you don't post anything and you're just following the same chunk of people as everybody else... I think I got added, like, some newbie person added me to a list of like 12 other artists, which is fine. But somehow that list has gotten picked up by bots. So it's like I'm getting, you know, there's definitely accounts that are fake because I've seen the same profile picture like 3 times. And then I'm getting like Jim Bob, the Midwestern bank teller who loves God, and I'm like, have you seen the stuff I draw, sir? And I just don't think he's a real account. You almost never go to Blue Sky? You still hanging out on Instagram? I was like, where's the main thing? I keep thinking, I'm like, I should really still be active on Instagram, but every time I go over there, I just get frustrated with Meta and leave. Jim Bob is your alt. It's just like, I don't know quite the reason for all these little account bots anymore, but I don't trust it. Jim Bob is your OC. Alright, what fantasy world is he living in? Is he your kink? Do you live out your kinks through Jim Bob? It was, Witness in the Ace Attorney. You would make an Ace Attorney OC. That's awesome. He has many meetings. But is he like an eyewitness? Because we all know eyewitness accounts could be BS. Or is he like an expert witness? Extremely unreliable. Nice. I approve. Like, what are you gonna say on the stand? Let's go over what you're gonna say on the stand, and then he just changes it every single time. Oh, you are making some lore. So is he's flirting while he's on the stand? I did want the story. I'm appreciating the story. I'm just very I'm very proud of you for coming up with this story so quickly. Is it very one-sided flirting though? Like the one guy, he's just trying to, Edgeworth is just trying to ask him questions, and this guy, Jim Bob's just like non-stop innuendos. Absolutely one-sided. Nice. We're about to hit ad breaks, just to warn people. Now he sounds like an owl. Let me see what I can do. I know you've come up with a voice for this person, and I want to hear it. I will need to hear this tonight, just so you know. That'll be your new, your doctor's accent. An abiotic factor. That Helene and I are playing that tonight on the Absolute Worst Gamers channel. Trying to sing. So this blue is reminding me. So my quote-unquote niece, not by blood niece, but I've been there since she was born. She asked me to draw her a hedgehog, so I started. She like brings out her crayons and her markers, and I started drawing her a hedgehog in like blue. And then she got mad at me. She's like, hedgehogs are not blue. So then she hands me black. And it was funny because she was drawing a hedgehog and it was neon yellow. So neon yellow, accurate. Blue, not. And then I told her I didn't want to use black because I don't really use black unless it's for cold erase sketch. And like I honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the color black when it comes to sketching a lot. But yeah, so she's like, she was fine with me turning it into rainbow. But it was hilarious because she like was not terribly pleased with it. She had nothing like good to say about the drawing when I got done. But then she took it up to bed with her. Children are harsh critics. Pulling in a little bit of violet to darken this up. Since I can't find my indigo, violet works just as well. Probably actually works better. Gives me a little bit of warm tones in there. But she occasionally actually watches me stream with her dad. So she's watching. Hi, Evelyn. I will draw you an accurate hedgehog later. I'm surprised Raya's actually hanging out today. It's kind of warm in here. And I'm probably going to change the music station to something slightly more energetic. I am a little sleep deprived, so I cannot do chill music too much. Alright, I'm very tempted to color all this in the whole way down, but I want to specifically avoid that because I want to keep this... I'm already getting a little too dark. Because once again, actually looking in the webcam is helpful because it gives me like a... kind of like a monitor preview. So the ear is already getting too dark compared to the rest of the body, or the face. So I want to keep this focal point right here. So it's fine to put like a little bit, I'll put a little bit more in here to kind of fill up the volume a little bit. I'm probably going to have to blend that down. Don't know if I like that. We're going to do some stuff and then see where the chips fall. Okay. I think I'm largely going to darken some stuff up around the eyes, and then I'm going to erase away most of the stuff, and then I think I'll be largely where I want to be at. Part of me wants to pull in some pink, which I don't know about. Maybe a smidge. getting too warm to wear a headset. Sorry, I'm just cranking up my fan. Just so I can blow all the dog fur everywhere. I sweep out my office like on a daily basis, but Raya is blowing out her winter coat right now, so it's just a lost cause. Did take her outside. She's gotten... I don't think she'd ever been groomed before, so she definitely was freaked out the first time I tried it. But now she actually stands better than any of my other dogs. It's like I don't know if she likes it or if she just stands still and waits for it to end. But she just sits like a rock, which is, I mean, pretty awesome. No, are you still honey furballs? Yeah. Little memories for you. Or her ghost haunting you, one of the two. Sweet little honey. Are you hearing the knocking from the fan? Yeah, I would happily take a doggy ghost. It's like sometimes Raya now starts doing what I would always know if Xena was behind me because she would do this little tap dancey thing. And now Raya does the tap dancey thing. She didn't always, so I was very surprised that she picked up Xena's habit. So now every once in a while I just hear the tap dancing and it's Raya behind me. Okay, the fan stopped. It's like it eventually stops. I think it's when I crank it up to high, it takes a little bit to get balanced out. Man, you can't see this pink at all on stream. For some reason, well, it's like a pink-purple. It's not picking up. As long as it scans. But it did do the desired effect of concentrating it around the eye. It's like almost most of the horses I'm doing for this book are just the front half because it is a vertical format. Where's the... Because it's going to be like this size. This is just a little sketchbook from Braum. So it's pretty much going to be the same thing, but I did one before where I had horizontal things and I just had it so you had to rotate. And I don't think people like that. So that's why it's mostly, this book is ending up being mostly half of horses. Melting dog. I think I mentioned about when I was streaming. Did I mention Mothman? Seeing Mothman on Friday when I was streaming? Not during streaming. I didn't see Mothman during streaming. I'm just talking about a horse's rear end. That would be funny. Oh, I have an idea too for it now. Thank you for that. You will probably hate what I'm going to draw for it now. Okay. I couldn't remember what day that was that happened. It may have been Friday night. But I took Raya out for like late night walk. And there was like a pair of red glowing eyes coming down the sidewalk on the opposite side of the street. And it was like a tall, lanky guy dressed all in white with glowing LED eyes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he was on something because he could not walk straight for the life of him. And he was kind of like acting like he was going to dart behind, like cut through yards every time a car went by. But Raya did not care for that man at all. She just would not stop watching him. So yeah, we like walked past and he took the LED, whatever the heck he had up down. And we walked past each other and then I turned around because Raya wouldn't stop looking at him and he was like pelvic thrusting at us with the LED lights were now blue. But yeah, you know, normal late night things. But yeah, she hated that guy. She would not stop looking at him. And then the next day I was walking her and I went in the opposite direction and there was two guys that crossed the street and they had like bouquets of flowers and I was like, okay, this is interesting. But they were very loud and seemed like they might be drunk, so I crossed the street to not be on the same side as them. But they followed us over to the other side of the street and then started talking about how they weren't afraid of dogs very loudly and like trying to talk gangster, which is hilarious because they're in like suburbia, semi-affluent suburbia. North of Seattle is not Compton, okay? I'm just going to say that. But yeah, Raya was not bothered by them, even though they were talking so much smack and like obviously coming towards us. Yeah, it made me happy I walk with a buck knife. Because I did have to pull it out. I didn't like pull it out of the sheath. I pulled it out of my pocket and just kind of had it next to my hip and tapped my hip with it. And then they eventually saw that and stopped following us. I was like, maybe they were just drunk and wanted to pet her, but they sure didn't sound like it. Either way, she would not have appreciated two random dudes coming up to her. She don't like random dudes. What is that and how did it get there? Okay. At least it left. Yeah, this place is getting weird at night, and I don't know why. I don't want to completely get rid of these scribbly lines. I do need to clarify the shapes of the main body. It is kind of like what do I want to... It's like... I don't know. It could be an evil Kelpie. Could be like an oil slick kind of horse, I think is more what I was thinking. Also, hi, Teak and Tuts. Frankie just ends up looking like water because I picked blue pencil to work in, but that's mostly because this color on this weird synthetic paper is the one that smudges the easiest. Which is both a good and a bad thing. I'm having an okay day. My sinus headache is a little better, so good-ish. Good-ish. Thank you for asking. I hope you're also having a good day. These gloves are... They're not actually I got them from an artist, and I don't think they have a label on them. And I'm trying to remember, they were like lavender something, they're like, disabled artists, so they came out with their own, like, wrist braces and everything. I think Mystic Lavender? Is that who it was? Pretty sure it was Mystic Lavender. They were supposed to be compression gloves. They're not very compressive, but they work well for this to stop me, since this is essentially like semi-transparent plastic paper. It gets affected by the oils on your hand very easily, so that's why I have gloves on. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was Mystic Lavender or if I'm confusing it with somebody else. It's been a while since I bought these. Yeah, well, you can get this paper in opaque paper. It is essentially plastic. This stuff is usually not used for drawing. This is used for acrylic ink pouring kind of things. But yeah, so you can get it in solid white. I just like the semi-transparent. Because then I can, if I wanted to, I can add stuff underneath. But you can do like a little bit of coloring on the back kind of things. It also, I think it just helps when I add a little bit of white ink. Helps it pop out a little bit more. Well, thank you. Yeah, no, this is like... This paper takes a lot of practice, a lot of trial and error to figure it out. I got turned on to this paper by Vanessa Lemon, who uses it for... She does paintings on it. But yeah, so like... The things that make it different than regular paper is it smudges very easily. It does not respond to... like I can't use like anything water-based on it, obviously. Certain pigments don't work as well. So like I'm using blue because blue... There's only like 3 or 4 colors that I have that actually work really well on it. Blue, black, one of the shades of purple, and a pink. So yeah, it's a lot of trial and error figuring out what works. The other big thing about it is that you can't like... So I'm erasing right now, and this is almost always the last step that I do. Because once you erase, you kind of lose all the tooth on the paper, and you can't redraw in that area. You can, kinda, but it's... You can see every erase mark. Like, you'll never be able to get a nice, even, or even dark, like, you'll only be able to get a very light line, and you're gonna have to live with the eraser stroke showing up. So yeah, it's a fun medium, it's a frustrating medium. No, it won't work nearly as well. So yeah, I always save erasing for last. Because it's easier to, if I mess up on a part, try to draw over it than it is to erase it and try to draw on top. Or not easier, but has better results. Yes, this is like Legion's Yupo paper, if you want to ever try it out. I will forewarn you, it is about $2 a page. Sometimes 3. If I use my big ones, it's 3. Okay, so I'm still debating if I want to keep this. Yeah, I'll probably get rid of that. I liked it at first, but now that I've cleaned up the lines, I'm like, I like how it just looks like he's doing the little kick out. And I think the foot in there detracts from it. Just grab me a bigger eraser. It was when I first got this stuff, I tried doing because I haven't done ink in a while, but I really like working in ink too. I tried doing ink on it, and I got some really cool effects, but it never dried. Like, a year later, it was still tacky. It had so much dog fur in it. apologies if this is wobbling the camera. Raya looks so comfortable back there with her head just plopped. I don't know what it is with dogs and sleeping like that. Oni does the same thing, my Akita. Alright, so I think this one's largely wrapped up. I might come back to it later. But I kind of like keeping this one all simplified. Yeah, so we got that. Then we have the one I did over the weekend with the black coal erase pencil. Wow. Sorry, I did not realize I smacked the mic. This was a veto one. Maybe I can fix that into something, but I don't know. Alright, we're about to hit ad break, which I think it should only be set to like a minute. I'd set them to be pretty short. But I'm gonna pull out the werewolf from a couple weeks ago? It's been a while since I've touched the werewolf. Okay, so I'm gonna mute for a hot second. Chug some tea. I'll be back at the end of the ad break, so we'll have like a minute 20. Be right back. Alright. Thank you for your patience. Alright, so this guy I started on Werewolf Wednesday several weeks ago. There's my indigo blue. I was looking for this. Some of you may recall I did an experiment where I didn't like the original head, so I drew a separate one and then I cut it out. Ooh. And that was why I took a break from it, because I had to get a special glue, because this paper is so finicky and weird that I had to go find a very special adhesive to glue it to each other. And then I lined up, what did I line up? I lined up this part when I glued it, and then I completely messed up the alignment down here, and that glue is like cement. But yes, thank you. I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the legs. I have to tweak some things on the head now to make this line up. This was supposed to be, like, here. Like, this line right here was supposed to be down here. So. I done goofed. That's not unsalvageable. Trying to find a sharp black. I almost accidentally used a regular Tombow on this, which wouldn't be bad, but regular graphite is so reflective on this that it does not scan well. We're gonna fix this neck. There's a little part of me that's like, I'm trying to finish the F'd Up Horses book for Monsterpalooza. Part of me is like, I could do a werewolf book as well. It could be fun. It'll very much depend on how much they charge me for the little horse book, because prices have definitely gone up. A werehorse. I'll have to see if I have room for stuff. I think I'm mostly just thinking because, like, werewolves are popular at Monsterpalooza. Also, I just like werewolves. Horses I tend to gravitate towards because I was a horse girl. I grew up next to, my next door neighbors had horses, so I was always over at their place. Essentially providing them free labor. Like, they'd let me ride one of their horses on occasion, but, you know, ride was a exaggeration. They would put me on the back of her and lead her around. But I spent so much of my week over there feeding their horses, helping them muck stalls, being a nuisance so I could be near horses. Though in my defense, I probably would have been the same way if it was any other large animal. I just liked being around animals. I gotta figure out what to do with this weird little clumpy end bit that used to have a proper location and now doesn't. And you can see the ghosts of hands that almost were. Yeah, I usually like drawing my werewolves mid-transformation. Or just a little bit funky. Yeah, pretty much. I'm also fairly certain my parents kind of treated it as free babysitting. Because most of the time, nobody was watching me. I feel like something's off here. Go pencil with a slightly. It's largely. I don't have like a bunch of colors. I have a bunch of pencils with different lead sharpnesses. Starting to sound like a 90s kid. I was a 90s kid. I'm old. No, that's not working either. They say white knights go get mad at me. Yep. Laughs and back pain. Oh god, gotta get the foam roller. Helene, you're younger than me. He's like, I was technically born in the 80s still. I just don't remember any of the 80s. Also, it was weird, latchkey kid things, a 90s thing. I admit that I did not get, like, a lot of the 90s, like, culture stuff because I grew up in the middle of nowhere. Like, I have my neighbors with the horses for, well, when I was in grade school, then we moved when I was in 4th grade. To even more in the middle of nowhere. But, like, I just always grew up in rural Midwest. Largely left wandering around. So, I missed a lot of the, like 90s culture stuff. Latchkey was 80s. It's like, and now everybody, now you can get in trouble for latchkey. Having latchkey kids. Like, that's why Ernesto and I got along really well when we first met, because we were both like kids that had largely raised ourselves. I dropped it. Sorry, I put an empty can in the recycling and it just fell. I just have Waterloos on me. I like seltzer water, okay? I don't want to. What do I want to do with this leg? I want to do something with this leg. I need to mess it up then. Fizzy water fiend. Yeah. It's kind of funny because, like, growing up in the Midwest, LaCroix was a thing forever ago. But, like, it used to kind of be, like, a cheap drink. With no flavor. I mean, I like quite a few of the flavor ones. When I'm in Mexico, I mean, Topo Chico is a thing everywhere. And that's largely flavorless. What am I doing with this leg? I'm doing something, but I don't know what yet. I need to Google. Yeah, googly. I need to googly. Hold on. It's a bit over there. Wolf skeleton. I'm pretty sure I know how many bones they got, but I need to double check. Oh, great. Wonderful. Bunch of gross AI results. Alright. Google is so useless now. Alright, so this is, yes, there is. So I thought this is just one very elongated foot, and then there's a two. You're forced to. You finally acquiesced to LaCroix. I mean, there are way better brands than LaCroix at this point, I think. Like, I really like grape Waterloo because it tastes like grape soda without the calories. The bubbly. Every time I see that in the store, I have to pronounce it buble. Alright, I'm trying to make this back leg like it's... Because I've got funky stitching together stuff up here. So now I'm like, I want to do funky stitching together stuff down here. I don't think it's sweet. I don't know. I was like, it doesn't have any sugar in there to be sweet. The only one that I know that adds stuff is that poppy. Poopy, poppy, poopy, poppy, playtime. Maybe I should play Poppy's Playtime on stream at some point, but honestly, that one's been played to death, I think. Alright, I don't mind that. I think that works. It does give me something I was missing down here. Oh yeah. Oh, the Poppy's Playtime one? It's like I have, there is like an uptick in industry jobs now that they're starting the new quarter. But it is very depressing the amount of them that are now like, they either want a full-on unicorn that does everything from storyboarding to 3D models and topology and animation and everything, or they want you to work with AI. I am going to guess an eagle is here. Because the crows are going crazy. Oh man, I like to watch I think it's Wired's YouTube channel has like an Ask the Expert series. So I always like watching it because it's like you'll get like geologists and neurosurgeons. And so it's just kind of fascinating to hear what they say. But they recently had an AI learning professor from some random college. And his whole thing was he was pretty much glossing over everything bad about it. But then he is like the difference between the US AI and the China's AI is they use it for spying and we're using it to help people, and the comments were kind of ripping him a new one. Rightfully so. I think I have yet to see a case where it actually helped and didn't grossly harm. Yeah, I actually I do have to work on, I gotta get some assets ready for our indie game, so I don't know if I'm gonna quite have time to do both a werewolf and a horse book. Right. Now I gotta think. I was starting to have it like skin flapping down, but that doesn't make sense for what I have happening here, because it's stitching together, not flapping, ripping apart. I think I just need to have this be a little less perfect. Why is my fan once again? Once in a while, the site is going to go back to being unbalanced. Can you fix that? Add more weight now that I've added a string across. Intestines. Man, part of me really wants to have this like spilling out, but I'm like, nah, it doesn't make any sense. He's stitching together. We have a theme, we must stick to the theme. Or this is gonna get very nonsensical. I love just drawing gnarly feet. I don't know why. I'm like here to ruin everybody's foot fetish. Or to find that one unicorn that really likes gnarly feet. Which one's going to the quote board? Also, what quote board? I did not say you are leaving out the adverb, or not the adverb, the adjective? What is the descriptive? I said gnarly feet. I specifically said gnarly feet. How dare you? Adjective. Okay. I was like, it's one of those things. This is like, I messed up this leg. This one I'm leaving, well, I mean, he's got his weird little club foot thing. Oh yeah, Rob was a foot guy, right? Or is a foot guy. He's still alive, right? He's one of those people I try not to pay attention to. Now the question is, what do I do with this junk? He couldn't draw a lot of things to save his life. Like, a spine that's not broken. Yeah, what am I gonna do with the junk? Do I just do a, oh, make it a lady bit? Or are you saying that that's what... Oh, yeah. Never mind. I thought you were talking about turning the werewolf into... But no, you're talking about Leafield not being able to... Man, it still makes me sad that I like Deadpool. And I'm sad that he's his. Like, I'm not much of a comic book or superhero or any of that stuff, but I was like, Deadpool was one that I liked before the whole Marvel. I have to allow, if you can say, hairy crotch. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of gravitating towards. Is just going to be the, I permitted the term crotch hairy. I love that that's in my feed right now. I'll put that in my diary that I don't keep. Today, I permitted the word crotch hairy. Werewolf muff, yes. God, I'm trying to remember, was it my nephew? I think it was my nephew that at one point was like, what's muff diving? And we were just like, oh god, no. Run away! I'm gonna have to put one of those labels on my stream, aren't I? I don't know how... I'm trying to think, because it automatically did that to, Still Wakes the Deep. Yeah, it's when you send them off to a parent, and you're like... They'll take care of that. Except knowing my brother and his wife, they are most definitely not going to take care of that. They're going to avoid with a 10-foot pole. Ah, okay, that makes sense. I was like, do I have to put my streams as... Like, is this messed up enough that I need to put, like, a adult audience warning? This hip transition's a little wonky. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going because I'm getting very hangry. Started a bit late since I had to readjust all my windows in Streamlabs again. Gotta get that rim light on this silky crotch fur. I think I might pick this one back up on Wednesday or start another werewolf on Wednesday stream. Eileen, you should let me know if you want to dual stream again on possibly Wednesday, because Friday I'm doing Still Wakes the Deep again. See if we can finish that. It's such a fun game. By fun, I mean full of beautiful squiddly diddlies. Alright, so I keep messing this angle up. This is facing backwards, so this is pointing away from the viewer. Foreshort means a beach. Okay. Well, let me know. Because it's okay if the leg is pointing away, because like I said, he's stitching together, things are going to be wonky. Alright, Helen, you are giving me after 4 or before 3. You could just tell me that you can't do 3 to 4. See, now you can see where I can't get the same line weight anymore in here. So this is... what I need to be doing here is adding an ass cheek, because this is out of socket compared to this. Are you in denial of your calendar? That does remind me, I have to make sure. I see what my dentist appointment is. You got a weird 1 hour window of no. Oh, oops. I forgot to pause that ad break. I paused it once, I forgot to pause it again. I thought I had turned ads down, but apparently all I did was turn it to 1 minute instead of it being 2 minutes of ads every hour. Now it's 1 minute of ads every half hour. This was not what I was trying to do. Okay. Well, I think that actually, like, it's wonky, but it's like makes sense wonky now. Like, it's fine if his leg is pointing in a weird direction, because a lot of them's pointing in weird directions. I forgot I was doing this ribboning part here, and I actually really like how I did that. I need to make sure I replicate that elsewhere. So it's like, so it continues the theme. I'm just debating if I want to do it like here. That might be a little too distracting. I could potentially do it. In hindsight, I should have done this before I put down the bold lines for the edge of the leg, but oh well. I can make it work. Was I going to do ribbons? I did do some ribbons up here. I do like how I ghosted this one out, so it's like it looks like it's happening in the distance, like he's like a flying spaghetti monster whipping around level of. So I might. I don't know how to describe that. It's flailing. I don't know if I want to do that though. Because I like this curve in here being clean. I could potentially just do it in the armpit here. Alright, so what did I have two biceps here. That's not working. I understand why I tried it, but it's not working, so I'm gonna trim it down. Okay, I'm probably gonna call it because I'm getting very hungry. I need to get in some kind of a workout before I start streaming with Hylian and the other nerds at 7. But yeah, okay. Definitely made some progress because I know when I pulled this out, or when I ended it last time, I was like, I knew there was missing something, especially in the legs. So I think we fixed a lot of the problems with the legs today. I'm a little annoyed I went off the paper here. But yeah, I mean, it's still got a little ways to go yet. But we're getting there. I mostly got to blend in the head, and it's figuring out how to do that since this is 2 different layers of paper. There's hard edges. But, yeah, it's getting there. And then I'll pull in some shading in the guts. Get some white on the moon. Might add a little bit more ribbon-y. Not up here, because like I said, I like this curve. It's like something on the bicep there, I think, to kind of mimic what I did here. But yeah. I do like that adding in more ribbons there is definitely making this better. But yeah, progress. So we got this. We got whatever in the hell this was. We got a messed up horse. We're getting there. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna call it here so I can go eat something. And then I'll pick it up on Wednesday. Maybe with Hylian. We'll figure that out. And then tonight I'll be streaming Abiotic Factor with Absolute Worst Gamers. But yes. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the support. You're all awesome. Have a good afternoon.